what's up guys? Welcome back to Smoking Meat. Today we're doing a little experiment with my Traeger Ironwood XL, and that is to incorporate Lone Star Grill's new pellet chips in the Traeger, even though they don't recommend it. Let's get right to it. Okay, so first things first, when you order from Lone Star, you literally get a box of chips. Now, I'm sure that's okay, but frankly guys, for 40 bucks, put it in a plastic bag. Just a quick recommendation, because this sat on my porch while I was out of town for a few days and it's been raining, and I had to sit it in the house and let it dry out. So not a great first customer experience, but I'm glad to have these chips. Now, what are these chips? Well, they're just really small hickory chips. They've done a good job of chipping them down to a level that an auger of their grill, the Lone Star grill, can support. The question is, can you, when mixed in normal pellet like this, can a Traeger model, this is the Ironwood XL, accept it without clogging or causing issues to the auger? So without further ado, I've done two things. The first batch, this is just a small batch, it fills the size of one of the ash kegs. The first batch is going to be a 1-to-1 ratio, so equal parts pellets, equal parts wood chips, and that's a pretty hefty amount of wood, as you can see here in my hand. So we'll fire that up at 225 super smoke and see how it does. And then I've got a 2-to-1 mix of pellet to chip. So this is my 2-to-1 mix here that I've just kind of made up as a test batch. And as you can see, for 40 bucks you get a pretty big box of wood chips that you can mix in with your 30-pound pellet bags. And I won't be doing that yet until I decide that this actually works. So I've got nothing on the cooker today. This is purely an experiment for me. And let's go ahead and fire this bad boy up to 225 super smoke, and we're gonna see if it runs this entire batch through the grill. I'm gonna stop it when it gets down to the auger so I don't have to pre-prime it for the next job. But let's go ahead and fire this guy up to 225 and we'll see if it works. I'll come back periodically to show you guys the level of smoke, talk about the smell, and then also talk about how it's feeding as well. All right guys, so I have gone ahead and just removed all of my plates in here, my grill grates, the smoke drip pan, everything, just to show what it looks like here in the fire pot. Now, right now, I just started the grill, so we're not to temperature or anything, but the auger is turning. It is dropping in the remaining meat church pellets I had in there that are not yet wood chips. So hopefully we can come back and see the whole process and see how things are going here, see if my auger's jamming up or anything like that, and we'll get right to it here shortly. All right, so the grill really has trouble obviously maintaining temperature right now, but I wanted to show you guys on YouTube the auger. Be careful if you ever do this, by the way. It's the auger right there. I took my safety grate out, completely not recommended, but to show you, my hands are far enough away from it, the auger is turning. The auger is accepting wood chips. However, it's yet to be seen if, you know, it starts making any funky noises, but so far, I haven't heard any noises out of the ordinary. Okay, well, I missed the sound for YouTube. It's on my TikTok. I am shooting in both vertical and horizontal during this entire process. So we did drop down to 146, and the auger started to make a kind of a metallic-y, grindy sound that it normally doesn't make. That said, it has stopped, and we are, there it is again. Kind of like a vibration almost, almost as if it is struggling a little. So temps are coming back up. There's that sound. So definitely not a great sound. Keep the process going here until we see some other issues. I'm gonna go ahead and check inside now to see if we are feeding wood, and there we are. We are feeding wood through. Appears to be working, but the auger isn't very happy. I'm gonna leave this open for a second and just film in here to see if we are spinning still. Looks like the auger is turning ever so slowly. Wood chips are burning. dropping in, but it is turning. So you can see things are moving still. All right, we'll come back in a few. I did go ahead and put in the drip pans, so we'll see if it comes back up to temperature after 103. Not a pleasant sound coming out of this thing. I've gone ahead and scooped away some of the pellets here and still making god-awful sounds. But I wanted to show you guys, it's almost so hard to talk over, but I wanted to show you guys what it looks like as I'm dying here, getting burned by smoke in my eyes. But you can see it is definitely working, but when those chips go through, they don't break, and so the auger really has to push them. And I think that's what the sound is, obviously. The auger really struggling to push those chips through the chamber, but it's still working. But certainly not happy. And for the record, temperature has not yet come up through this entire process. Not good. Well, guys, that's it for the test. I think that's probably all we're going to be able to do here. I did end up putting more pellets in to try to flush it out to go back to standard pellets. Temperature never got to where it needed to be, except for the first part, which was the regular old pellets still in the box or in the auger. And now with the wood chips and the pellets, just never got to temp. So I can try a 2-to-1, but I'm guessing you could do like 3-to-1, 4-to-1 maybe, and get away with it, but you're still going to hear these awful sounds, and ultimately we all know that that's not good for the auger. I'm sure voltage or amperage is spiking right now as it's doing this. Sounds freaking awful, and definitely don't recommend it. So sorry, we tried, but now you know. Now you don't need to spend your own $40 on a box of Lone Star chips to see if your Traeger can handle it. All right, guys, back on full pellets now, as you can see, and temps are coming back up. Everything sounds good and normal, no damage to the auger, at least from what I can tell. So yeah, that concludes it. I think that's a pretty definitive answer that no, Lone Star chips are not made for your Traeger. I know that seems like a stupid experiment, but I wanted to do it because I hadn't seen anybody else do it online yet. So there you go, guys. Follow for more, and you'll never have to wonder.